Hey guys, welcome back to Mental Health with Mel. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something a bit more personal. So normally I talk to you guys about my therapy sessions, and this one relates to my therapy sessions, but it might have some more personal experiences with other people. I have told you guys before, I don't really want to go into my relationships with other people on here just because it's not fair for me to bring someone else on here that doesn't want to be in this kind of platform. I don't want to bring any drama or anything like that to this. So I'm gonna broadly discuss two situations that I'm going through or that I have gone through, just because they relate a lot to what's going on in my life now. This week, I wanted to talk to you guys about how your life will kind of repeat itself. And whether you believe in God, the universe, the stars, karma, whatever the case may be, your life will repeat itself. And you'll find yourself in the same kind of situations that you were previously. And in a way, it's kind of like a test. So this week, when I went to therapy, I talked to my therapist about these two events that happened in my life, and the two events that are happening currently in my life, and how they relate to each other, and that I don't want to make the same mistakes that I previously made. For purposes of this video, let's say my old friend's name is Banana. And Bananas was a good friend, but things didn't work out, we stopped being friends. Later on in life, Bananas and I became friends again. But unfortunately, hanging out with Bananas was a lot for me. I felt drained and exhausted hanging out with Bananas. There was a lot of toxic energy going on there, and maybe some mental health issues there as well, or just our personalities didn't clash, or our personalities did clash. There were just things that did not work between me and Bananas. There was a time that I considered that reconnecting with Bananas was bad. And now I know that I needed to reconnect with that person so that I could be who I am today and be in this platform and make these videos, because Banana had a big impact on my life. Current present day, I have a friend named Grapes. Grapes and I were very good friends. She is like a sister. I have a lot of people that have come in and out of my life, but this one felt like a friendship that was more familiar and family-like than an actual friendship. So me and Grapes got along really well and did everything together. We tried to rekindle our friendship again as adults, older people, and that also failed. So it's been about 2 years since I talked to Grapes. But now Grapes has come back into my life and apologized for some of the role that she played into our falling out. And when I got the message from Grapes, I was tearing up, because Grapes was the most impactful person in my life and was just such an amazing friend before everything went downhill, and I wanted that friendship again, and I still feel a lot of love there. So I reached out and I did tell Grapes that I still cared about Grapes and that I still wanted to be friends, and that we needed to sit down and have a talk. Grapes lives in a different state, so we couldn't sit down, but we could talk on the phone. But I avoided it for about a week, and I went to therapy and I talked to my therapist about it and talked to him about the fact that Grapes and Bananas have a lot similar to each other. They were both stubborn people. They were both a little bit more self-centered at points. Our relationships had both failed. There were just a lot of similarities, but then there were also big differences. Like, Grapes was and always has been a more kind, positive energy kind of person, just very sweet and loving, and was always there for me when I needed Grapes. And that was something that Bananas and I didn't have. So Grapes, I wanted back in my life. But I had to know how to have the conversation so that the relationship didn't fail again. So that's where my therapist said that we couldn't sugarcoat things, that we needed to sit down and have a phone conversation about what went wrong, why we think we did those things, what we each did to each other, and where we want to go from this point on. And that's exactly what I did with Grapes. And now Grapes and I had a 7-hour long conversation because we were able to talk through all our issues and get back to just telling each other and filling each other in on each other's lives. That was amazing to me. That was amazing because we had never been able to sit down and talk about our differences and what the issues were. This was different from my previous friendship with Bananas. So why was it different? Because we went into it with a different foot. We went into it with this is what happened, we're going to address all of this, and we're going to move forward. Not we're going to sugarcoat everything that happened, really not talk about it and just try and be friends, band-aid that. As well as I wasn't ignoring, and I'm not ignoring, red flags that are super in my face obvious that I had been ignoring previously when I was friends with Bananas. I'm comparing fruit. You can see how they are very similar, situations are very similar, but they are different. They taste different if we're talking about fruit. They are very different situations. So I went to therapy to help me make the decisions that would lead me to being friends with Grapes again. So that was life kind of testing me to see what I was going to do and how I was going to handle this situation versus the last one, if I was going to dive in. And yeah, I kind of did because it was a long conversation, but at the same time there is a whole boundary of states and land between us. So the friendship will develop again slowly. So that was one situation. Here's another one that is also happening within the same week of each other. So I was seeing a guy. We'll give this guy football. I was dating this guy football for about a month, about 4-ish months ago, and football and I became really close. Football was in the army, and we FaceTimed and talked every day. We texted all day long. Football and I became really good friends, and then eventually became more than friends, and then football decided to ask me to be football's girlfriend. So we were dating, and within that week that we started dating, football was having a lot going on in the army and started pulling back. And because he was pulling back, I was trying to push myself more onto the situation to not lose the person, right? That was the wrong approach, I think, because it just ended up having me look needy and desperate. The more I gave and the more I wanted to be in that situation, the more he did not want to be there but didn't feel like he could talk to me about it. Football had never had a girlfriend, so that didn't work out. Football ended up ghosting me and football just disappeared, and I never spoke to football again. I had broken up with him through a Snapchat. That's what happened with football. Then I started seeing another guy, we'll give him the name Baseball. Me and Baseball started talking about a month ago. We're seeing each other, everything's going great. I really like this person, but I'm trying to focus more on now, because in my previous relationship with football, I was focused on what it could be and where it was going, instead of just focusing on how amazing the situation was then. Now I should just value where I'm at. Baseball and I are having a great time, but Baseball is starting to have issues, or was having issues at work. That gave me the same panic run feeling that I had with football, because football wanted to take a step back. Now it's my turn again to prove that I can do this situation. I can live in the now and be okay with whatever's going on in the now, and not feel like I need to throw myself more into the situation to try and salvage it, because if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So I've made it clear, and I've had conversations blatantly honest saying that I felt like things were changing and this is what was going on. I've validated my feelings and I've made my feelings known, and now it is Baseball's turn to handle that. And if Baseball would like to leave, we're not serious, it's casual, Baseball can leave. And yeah, it would hurt me, but at the same time, that's life. And that's what I needed to realize in these situations, in both situations, with my relationships and with my friendships. I can't control the future, and I need to make better decisions that are actively going to help me right now, that are going to help me relax and be myself and really breathe, and not be so concerned about other people, because in the past I've let people and their wants and their decisions affect me dramatically. And at this point, I want to be happy for me. I want to make myself happy. So these are things that I had to see how I was doing and how I was doing this, what it was affecting my relationships. So now I know. Take a step back, really value yourself. If this person wants to be with you, they're going to show you they want to be with you. If this friendship was a good friendship, it'll work out. And don't ignore the red flags that come with all of this. Life has given me a second opportunity to prove myself, and I hope that with the guidance of my therapist, I am able to do that. And that's why I want to tell all of you guys, please consider going to therapy and consider talking to someone about your life and your experiences, but it can also just help you so much in life. So that's my take on how life can just test you on how you have changed and grown. And if you need any help or anything from me, please reach out to me on my social medias. But if you need an urgent help, or you're feeling really down, or you might just have a lot going on, please look at the links below. They're here to help you. We're all here to help you. We're trying to be so supportive and here for everyone going through a mental health disorder right now and in the future. And just don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again soon.